that he was harassing her. But then again, he claims she had several warrants. And if you do the checking, which I did, she does have several warrants. So.
And we want to make sure that everyone knows that this video right here isn't the video that's going to get him in trouble. He is wearing body cam, and we're not going to be released. That body cam may not be released for a couple of years. Just
you
think
can't see much in that video. We
can't see much in that video. But as the son of a former Richmond police street detective, and I went through that Denver Police Academy simulator, if anyone reaches to grab something off of an officer, or you go to grab a cell phone, hair comb, it could be a bobby pin in your pocket. They are trained to shoot because they have kids and a family that they have to get home to.
And finish that thought. They are trained to what? Shoot to kill,
not shoot to maim.
And in most respects, I completely believe in not police brutality. But when I see officers trained, when someone goes, it is supposed to be automatic. There's not a thought in your head. You save yourself in that second, or else you're gone. So I have a hard time.
Stephanie, you're shaking your head. Tell us what you're thinking.
I think this is absolutely disgusting. I think the police should not have the right to shoot a woman like that in the street. He shouldn't have a gun in the first place. He's not at a mass raid. She wasn't killing anyone. She wasn't armed herself.
She was unarmed.
He clearly was managing the situation.
You can't do that,
he clearly was managing it. She wasn't getting up and like attacking him. She's clearly on the floor.
You can't fight back
at a time.
No, I think it's just completely outrageous to me. I'm actually in shock watching that video. I don't know what to say.
But he wasn't in control. And when you have someone fight back against a cop,
she was hardly fighting back.
First of all, let's take a moment here. I think what's interesting is in England, your police officers are not armed.
No.
Now they can make a phone call and get a tactical team to help them in situations to assist them. So that's where you're coming from. In our country, clearly things are different. Now, does it mean that we could have additional training to spot, number one, if somebody is unstable mentally, if someone's schizophrenic and off their meds? Can a police officer, I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking this police officer because I do not know the details. But can we have the conversation of, is there a way to improve our protocols to prevent situations like this, to help the police officer be better armed, and to help people save their lives?
Sam, at that police simulator for the Denver Police Academy that I went through,
but you were in there for 5 minutes.
Okay, but they are trained. They stress de-escalation that entire time. Don't just go in there with your gun pointed at people saying, hey, get down on the floor. You want to de-escalate a situation. We don't know the 100%
You cannot tell in that video if she grabbed a taser. According to the eyewitnesses, she did not grab a taser.
But Sam, we did see
he should have just handcuffed her, put her in the car.
But she was resisting an officer. In that video, the one thing we can tell is you can't resist an officer. If he says get down for those 5 seconds, you must do what he or she says.
And
if you don't and you reach for something, you're trained to take action.
Now, I agree with you here. If there's another narrative that her family is pushing, which I'm not saying is accurate or not, her family is pushing. In fact, her own sister claims that he lived there too, in that apartment complex. I do not know if that's a fact. This is coming from the victim's sister. So if he lived in this apartment complex and is harassing her, according to the sister, when in reality, maybe he was checking on her because she has warrants out for her arrest, which she does. So there's two completely different narratives. I don't think we have enough information to decide either way.
You have a warrant, you're going to jail. If I see you,
if you're schizophrenic, and if you're
still going to jail.
Okay, but if you're schizophrenic, you're not in your right mind. I'm not excusing her behavior. However, we don't know all the details yet. Let's just wait until we find out all the details.
Unless she was literally pulling out a gun on him, I see no excuse for this.
No, I completely disagree. No, if anybody is reaching for something, that police officer
reached for his leg.
It doesn't matter. You don't know as a cop how fast it's going to happen. You have every right to protect yourself. Every right.
Yeah, he's a fully grown man versus a pregnant woman. I'm sure he could have done it in a much more sophisticated and
These are important conversations to have. Listen, I think they are, because it's going to force all of us to look at both sides and create protocol to make it safer for everybody, including the police officer, including civilians. But let's wait till we have more information, and we will keep our viewers abreast when we get that information. But great conversation. Let's move on to this next story in DBL Nation. Please chime in. We want to hear from you as well. A California couple was just awarded a huge sum of money after a jury ruled weed killer caused their cancer. Kelly Schuberth has the details at the moment.
Sam, the makers of Roundup Weed Killer are appealing that California ruling right now. Alba and Alberta Pilioid were just awarded $2 billion in damages after a jury ruled that the couple's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma was caused by their use of Roundup Weed Killer. Now, this is the third lawsuit related to cancer and the extensive use of Roundup in recent years, but the company insists there's no link between its weed killer and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Sam?
And while you might think this is crazy, this is the third in the last couple of months of $289 million, then $80 million, now $2 billion. They are not letting up on Monsanto. They are taking down this Roundup.
And people should watch the documentary on Vice. It's all about the weed killer in Monsanto as well.
It's important to know, especially if you have little ones in the household. That's very scary. We are going to switch gears here. Yeah. I know that our viewers are going to love this. A little nostalgia for you all.
What you got for us?
I can't wait. The cast of 90210 is back. Check out this new teaser. Oh my God, is it weird that I got, look at, I have goosebumps.
She has, you're excited.
I really have goosebumps, that's pathetic.
Off a toast coming out of the
It's the noise. It made me feel like I was 16 again in my bedroom with that same music.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to most? Because they all look kind of grown in this. So do they have grandkids that are growing up in the 90210?
They'll be having sordid affairs with their housemates.
Yes, I think it's actually more of like a parody spoof, which is kind of a cool idea. They're playing, I think, themselves as actors that were in a show.
Wow.
It's a little bit of a twist. It should be more interesting. The fact that they all signed up, it should be some good writing.
I cannot wait.
We'll
I'm so surprised that I got goosebumps.
She's so excited.
Wow. And I believe it airs August 7th.
Ooh,
so stay tuned, August 7th. Yeah. DBL's Live will bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, our own Tori Shulman talks with Happy Days star Marion Ross. The classic TV legend reveals the cast member she didn't get along with for years. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. More and more high schools are ditching valedictorians because they say the tradition promotes unhealthy competition. So what do you think? Your comments coming up next.
This Thursday on Daily Blast Live.
Team, on your mark, get set, go!
Our hosts are getting savage in the wild for the ultimate camping competition.
We're gonna be in trouble.
Hosted by Amazing Race and Survivor star Corinne Kaplan.
Go! Challenge on! This way.
Who will brave the elements?
We're going right over there. Go over
and
there.
who will crash?
I feel miserable. I feel sick. I feel angry.
Don't miss Fully Clothed and Afraid. This Thursday on DBL.
I don't know about you, but I am so excited for that camping piece. Again, it airs this Thursday in a DBL special. Super exciting. I'm going to go ahead and take us to the table because there is still some heated conversation happening.
Hey guys, do you want to continue this conversation?
From a bar fight?
Yep.
Because the police have rights that the bartender
He was not
doesn't.
struggling at all. He was not struggling
If
to
she
the
gets a hold of that
this
taser,
is a struggle.
up and shot her on
This
the
is a
ground.
struggle.
Yeah. He got up twice.
you
Quite
guys
easily
are
stepped
that's
away.
crazy.
Separated from her.
and
It doesn't
shot
matter.
her.
He could be
That's crazy.
350 pounds or 2 pounds. If he goes against the police officer, that police officer has a right to take that person down.
Maybe legally, but I think it's completely wrong.
Now, what's unique
Morally
though?
wrong. I hope he has. You know what?
He's on.
I hope you have serious depression from this because you deserve it. You've ruined so many people's lives. You should be ashamed of yourself.
3 days paid
That's it.
administrative
That is it.
leave. She has two
That's
children.
outrageous.
He has
Outrageous.
children.
I highly disagree.
This is but I don't think we have enough information here because unfortunately that video does not showcase if she went for the taser. That
shows
video
her
doesn't
going
showcase
for
how many times she was shot.
Sam,
You do hear 5 gunshots.
But you do see resisting arrest. You do.
You do.
You have
do
to say that.
But Tori, here's the thing.
If you're reaching for
Hold
something
up.
and you have a taser, you
Hold
absolutely
up.
can.
If this woman has schizophrenia, again, I'm not saying that this officer is supposed to know that magically. So I see both sides here. But if our officers if this officer and her, according to many people, they've had many encounters with one another. I don't know if that's because they lived in the same apartment complex, according to the victim's
He patrols
sister.
that neighborhood.
Fine, or if that's the
he patrols
narrative.
that
We're
neighborhood.
hearing 2 different narratives. But then if he knew that she was schizophrenic, I do think that you need to have different protocol. Maybe he wasn't trained there, so I'll give him that. But we need to have better protocol in training our officers to deal with the mentally ill.
In a half a second, when anyone does this,
Is it worth their life, Tori?
It
for a
has to
mentally
be.
ill
It's to
person?
protect the cops.
So you're telling me if you're on the ground and a grown man is on top of you, kicking you, pushing you to the ground, and you don't try and get up or put your hand
you
out,
can't
you
resist a
expect to be
police
shot?
officer. It's the law of our country.
But I don't think a mentally
It doesn't matter.
Person knows that.
Literally, you have to protect the police officer's life as well. You're not valuing them as much as them.
I want to know if he knew she was mentally unstable.
In a second, it could have been the other way. In a second.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. An Ohio high school is the latest to get rid of the valedictorian tradition at graduation. The superintendent says this is an attempt to improve the mental health of students after finding patterns of anxiety, depression, suicide. They did a whole study. Students will now be recognized with honors similar to college, which value individual performance in classes rather than class rank. So DBL Nation, should high schools follow suit and eliminate the honor of valedictorian?
All right, let's get to these comments. Maple from Facebook says, I don't think this is inherently a bad thing. My grandkids have a lot more on their plate than I did when I was their age. Between after-school activities and homework from advanced classes, they're working so hard as it is. We'll give them a participation trophy then, Maple. Like, the superintendent on the school did an interview, and he said this is the largest high school in Ohio. They speak 74 languages in this school. 40% of their graduates are going to graduate with a 4.0.
Wow.
Which is great. So I liken that to an NFL roster where you've got everyone was all state in high school. Everyone was all conference. You even have Heisman Trophy winners. But you try and be the best on that team in that position. Why? Because that competition makes a better team.
Amen, honey.
That's also a business. This is a school.
It doesn't matter.
But maybe, in my opinion,
these are the kids that's going to be running our businesses.
Excuse me. Christian from Facebook says this isn't fair to the student who would have graduated valedictorian. Now they can't put it in their college application, and they will no longer be able to compete with valedictorians from other schools. This actually isn't true, Christian. You can absolutely put it in your resume. You can put it in your college application. It just means they aren't going to be speaking at graduation. My school, Georgetown Day School, is very famous because we don't have a valedictorian. We're a very high academically achieving school. What we do is a secret ballot, and maybe people think it's a popularity vote, but what usually comes forward is the person who gives the most quality of service or the person who's gone through something. Because that's what I want to hear when I'm graduating, not someone that's gotten perfectly straight A's by a decimal point.
Do you guys text with the participation trophy emoji too?
No, but I'm sitting at this table just as you, so I think I'm doing just fine.
Me too.
Henry from Facebook says, I feel like valedictorian didn't mean much even when I finished school. All the kids who graduated in the top 5 cheated together. Oh my gosh, Henry. That's some scoop. I completely agree with Tori here. In the UK, this doesn't even exist. We don't have valedictorians. Even in our oldest schools like Cambridge and Oxford, I think it's very antiquated. There's no need for it whatsoever. You should go and get a job based on your grades, not how highly you ranked in like the overall points. I think it's ridiculous.
And see, when I first read it, I was with you, Brandon, and I'm still, I'd say 75% with you, because I do think that this promotes healthy competition. It also sets you up for the real world, because when you fail, that's your biggest, in my opinion, that's your biggest opportunity to flourish, to overcome adversity. So if you didn't get the valedictorian position when you felt like you deserved it, well, then you'll learn that you got to work harder next time, or that all things aren't always created equal. However, if this is based on a study, and I am one to lean on data, if it's showing that it's not helping the students mentally, then I would like to take a closer look into that.
We're setting these kids up for failure, man. Like,
I hear you. I hear you.
So
Actually, they're all getting set up for failure, Brandon.
Oh my gosh,
they're all getting set up for failure because only one person's going to go away. There's always going to be someone better than you, smarter than you, faster than you. It's life. You should get a job, and your future should depend on what grades you get. And guess what? Everyone's worked damn hard just to get those grades.
But what about the people that work hard to be the best? No one wants to be the best anymore.
You can put that on your resume, but we might not want to hear that because you're the most inspiring.
I'm going to text you with the participation trophy emoji right after
this. Good conversation. Thank you for writing in. Coming up on DBL, classic TV stars. Where are they now? Happy Days. Marion Ross spills the tea on her castmates.
He apparently wanted somebody else for the part.
Ooh, so who's she talking about? Find out when we come back.
Happy to say you won the Sandals Dream Vacation.
DBL Nation, this could be you. This May, Daily Blast Live is giving away another Sandals Luxury Included vacation. Just watch DBL every day for the word of the day. Then go to dailyblastlive.com/sandals to enter. The winner will be announced May 22nd. The next Sandals vacation winner could be you.
What's up, you guys? I can't hear very well because I'm still congested, so if I was yelling, I'm sorry. I'll take it down. Guys, Marion Ross, so excited. Mrs. C from Happy Days. She's 90, she's totally with it. She had the funniest stories to share. She cursed a lot, it was amazing. And I found out who on the set really didn't treat her that well for a long, long time. You guys are gonna be super surprised. I also asked if, I basically asked if she knew Fonzie and Ron Howard would do well, and she said she knew from the very beginning. It's an amazing story. Guys, I can't wait for you guys to see this. She retired last year because she's also, turning 91, so she wants to, rest for a second. So it's unbelievable. Check out the interview. She looks fabulous. Do I sound sexy in this voice? Hello. Hello. Yeah, we got fired up on that panel, but that's what this is all about. Good opinions, good feelings.
Excuse me, 1 minute. Sorry, 1 minute.
You trickster.
We're giving away a Daytime Emmy gift bag to one lucky member of DBL Nation. Send us a video of your best award acceptance speech to dailyblastlive.com/Emmys. Our favorite submission is taking home this show-stopping prize, worth more than $14,000. So what are you waiting for? Watch, play, and win.
Welcome back to DBL. When you think about classic TV moms, there is no doubt Mrs. C from Happy Days comes to mind. Marion Ross played that lovable character for 11 seasons. From there, she kept acting, taking on tons of roles until her recent retirement. Ross, who is now 90 years old, even wrote a book detailing the ups and downs of life in showbiz. I had the complete honor of sitting down with the iconic actress at the Hollywood Museum in Los Angeles. In today's edition of Classic Stars, Where Are They Now? We are here with the one, the only Mom, Marion Ross. Hello, Marion. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time.
Well, I raised you all,
yes.
didn't I? Yeah.
Yes, you did. Now, you were the TV mom everyone wanted, Mrs. C. How does it feel that you had such a big impact on so many people?
I'm so used to it now. It feels very natural.
Now, you recently wrote a book about your life. You're very candid in the book because it's you just being real. You actually said you didn't first get along with Tom Bosley right away.
No, Tom didn't like me, and he apparently wanted somebody else for the part. I just had to bite the bullet and just put up with it.
Good for you.
And that went on for years.
Wow. Happy Days was initially supposed to be centered around Ron Howard's character, Richie, but Fonzie became the center of the show. Was there friction or jealousy when that switch happened, or no?
Both of them were very intelligent, well-educated, smart, and they handled it like gentlemen.
Sorry to take the room down a little bit, but Erin Moran, I want to just bring up really quickly, your dear co-star of Happy Days who died of cancer in 2017.
Yeah.
What was Erin like, and what was like to say goodbye to her?
So cute, talented, and it's a tragedy.
You've worked with some of the greats, let's be honest. We've had Audrey Hepburn, Cary Grant, Clark Gable. So I'm gonna show you a couple of photos. First up, we're gonna do this one. Now this is the Lone Ranger.
Oh, it is the
from
Lone Ranger.
1954. So tell me about that. Do you remember this?
Yeah, my line was, Who was that masked man?
Bravo! Bravo! That's amazing.
And I never got to thank him.
I'm going to show you this one. Ready? Tell me about this. This is Perry Mason, 1959.
You can see what a serious young actress I was.
Yes. You've just retired, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. You're how old?
Of 90.
Look at this, everybody. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Now, you've worked on so many things that each generation knows you for something differently, right? What inspired you to keep working until almost 90 years old?
Oh, because I am an actress.
Yeah.
I don't get jealous anymore, but I used to be able to look at somebody else doing something and just die.
Me. That's me. That's me.
Die.
I know that's
I want to do it.
So there was a competitive drive.
Very competitive.
Wow. When people are in our DBL Nation have doubts about themselves and they're in a down period, is there any good maternal advice you'd want to give us?
Hope, and you can be anything.
You're my kind of gal. Mrs. C, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. I had a good time.
It was so good.
Marion Ross's book, My Days, Happy and Otherwise, is available now. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
Welcome back to the DBL Stream Team. I'm Leo here with Stu to talk about HBO's Veep this week. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is a political comedy on HBO where you can stream on HBO Go, HBO Now. And it's been running for 7 seasons. And honestly, I'm just now getting into it, but Stu here has been on it since day one.
Yeah, so I've been on it from the start. It's from Scottish writer Armando Iannucci, which is a weird Scottish name. But basically he is... it's a fast, crass, like inside look into American politics. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the main character. You know her from Seinfeld.
Yes.
It's fast, it's funny, it's one of my favorite shows, and I definitely check in every Sunday. Now, I will say, season finale is coming up. This is the last season. So if you haven't seen it, start from the beginning. Enjoy the whole thing. It's only half-hour episodes. Super easy.
And it's incredibly funny, man. I mean, this episode was the first episode I actually dived into this series, and I could easily follow this series pretty cohesively without having to go back to the first episode. You know, some context was a little unclear, but everything was very funny, light, it rolled quickly. I mean, I was really enjoying myself for not having watched 6 more seasons.
The cool thing, too, is it kind of mirrors our political landscape. So a lot of things they're talking about now is it's kind of like mirroring Trump, but not mentioning his name ever. And in past seasons, they kind of do that with other political people as well. So you kind of get the feeling that you're up on current events, which is nice.
Yeah, and this episode focused specifically on their presidential race, am I right?
Yes, and that's almost every season. So in a weird way, you get this deja vu, but also it's always fresh and new. Different characters are doing different things, but it also, again, kind of mirrors American politics. It's the same people every year doing the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. The cool thing is it's joke-driven and character-driven.
That's so great.
As opposed to plot-driven.
Yeah.
So like if you miss an episode,
it's not a big one.
Yeah, you might not get a joke the same way, but it's always funny. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah, and also coming up, guys, on Hulu, they're getting Broad City, the very last season that just aired on Comedy Central. And Netflix is also getting Lucifer, which is coming off of Fox and going to be produced by Netflix originally. But this is all we have for this time, guys. We'll see you next time on the DBL Stream Team.
Today's watch and win word is sunscreen.
Welcome back to DBL. Hey, Bert in the background.
Hey, Bert.
Marion, Bert's our senior EP. Marion, oh my gosh.
She was amazing.
What an icon. She seems so nice.
She was so nice, and she kept saying I was a middle kid, and I just always had this Scandinavian grit within me, and I really just worked and pushed, and she said, I'm giving hope to all the DBL Nation out
Good
there.
job, Tori.
Thanks.
Wow, legend. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.